yoga. Today's morning yoga is going to be, I'm going to follow the yogi Cassandra on YouTube, and this is a yoga for your heart practice. It's a 30-minute heart opening yoga. It's a upper body healing flow. That's the way that she has it labeled. I just decided to do this. You know how your memories comes up on your phone or on, I think on TikTok I was looking at it and it was like on this day last year or some year. I did a heart opening yoga flow, so I just decided, I was like, oh, let's do a heart opening yoga flow today. So before we get started, I'm gonna do my normal warm up, which is a handstand, a back bend, and a headstand. And I do those things because I like them to be my warm up, but I like to be intentional about doing handstands, to work on my balance, to work on my shoulder strength, core strength. The back bend is to be intentional about mobility and flexibility in my spine. And then I like to do handstands. Any type of inversion, it gets your blood flowing in a different way. So it's really good for your circulation. It's also very good for balance as well. Stimulates my scalp. I'm trying to get my hair to grow, which is why I'm keeping my hair in these braid protective styles while I let my hair grow back. What else? If you don't know me, my name is Pamela, and I try to do yoga 6 days a week, and I'm usually successful with that. Monday through Friday at right around 6:30 a.m. 6 Central Standard Time. I go live on both YouTube and TikTok, and then on Saturdays right around 6 a.m. I get on as well. I normally do yoga for somewhere between 20 minutes and 45 minutes. Today is going to be a 30-minute yoga flow. I'm on a wellness journey, and I have kind of like intentions that I set each day that center around, doing something good for my spirit, which is, reading my Bible, praying, doing something good for my body, which is I try to do yoga every day. I try to walk or run at least a mile each day, and I try to do two 30-minute workouts. So sometimes if I walk for 30 minutes or if I do yoga for 30 minutes, that satisfies the two. But if I only do 20 minutes or if I only walk a mile, then I do two other 30-minute workouts. I try to be intentional about food consumption, the type of things that I'm eating, the quantity of food. I have struggled in the past with weight. I used to be morbidly obese about 11 years ago. And so I try to stay active and be intentional about paying attention to what I'm eating and why I'm eating it, because I have this self-sabotaging thing. My weight kind of goes up and down. In fact, I probably weigh about 10 pounds more this year than I did this time last year. And it's kind of an emotional thing, but I like to be mindful of that and know that that's a possibility. So I do all kinds of things to kind of offset the self-sabotaging behaviors that I have that lead to these fluctuations in weight. I also am intentional about doing things that promote positive, healthy mental health. I've had some mental health struggles in the past. Really allowing stress to get the best of me. And I found that if I am intentional about giving myself healthy stress, good stress, through exercise every day, I kind of build up my reserve so that when the bad stress comes up, like you're dealing with loss, or you're dealing with, increasing demands at work, or, some other type of personal problem that it doesn't get the best of you, it balances things out. I focus on just maintaining healthy coping skills, and so me being at peace and focusing on gratitude and mindfulness, and just being at peace and having joy and just being able to appreciate life is my number one priority. Just so I can, so I focus on those things so I can just live my best life, being the best version of myself. So that's me in a nutshell. If you have any questions about that, feel free to drop a note in the chat, and when I see it, I'll do my best to respond. I typically don't respond in these live sessions because it's all about the yoga, and obviously when I'm practicing on the mat, I don't have time for all of that, but I do try to be responsive to anybody that leaves me a comment or a question, asks for any advice or counsel about anything, or just asks me to do an experience share. I'm happy to do that. But let's go ahead. It is 6:17. My family is going to come down here by 7, so I should hurry up and get this yoga in. I do hope that you will join me. It should be a good practice. All right, so like I said, I'm going to get started with my warm-up, and then I'll come back and we will jump into this 30-minute heart-opening yoga. It is an upper body healing flow by Yoga with Cassandra. Okay? right, that was good. Let's let my blood come back down. It's all in my face. All right, let's go. So once again, this is a 30-minute heart-opening yoga flow, upper body healing flow by Yoga with Cassandra. It's yoga for your heart. Oops.
Hello and welcome to the
Wrong thing. Sorry.
Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Cassandra. This is my cat Cleo, and I'm going to take you through this yoga practice that is really designed to open up your heart. So physically, we're definitely going to be working on improving flexibility in our shoulders, getting into our chest as well as our upper back. But for those of you who maybe want to see the different ways that your yoga practice can work on more than your physical body, I really invite you to think of this as a heart opening practice. And maybe this is a little silly to some of you, but I know that for me, when I am going through a hard time and I feel a little bit more closed off, or if I'm experiencing any kind of grief in my life or any kind of heartache, small or big, I really notice a lot of stiffness and tension in my upper body. So while opening up and really working on the physical body is a great way to kind of break up that stiffness and tension, I also really like to ask myself some questions like, what are the ways in which I am closing my heart off to the world? So I'm just going to invite you to think of that a little bit as we flow together. We are going to be using 2 blocks for this practice, so make sure you have them close by, and probably best suited for intermediate students. So to begin, let's start in Balasana, Child's Pose. Big toes together, knees as far away as you would like, and we'll do a reverse prayer with the palms to begin gentle opening into the upper body. So as I'm lifting and reaching out of my lower back, I'm trying to encourage my heart to press down into the earth, and then just tucking my chin in slightly so the weight is resting on my forehead. And then I'm going to press my palms together and bend the elbows, and bringing my thumbs to rest at the back of my neck. So with each breath here, as you inhale in through your nose and back out through your nose, especially on the exhale, notice if you can soften the heart space a little bit closer towards the earth. And maybe you're just interested in gaining a little bit of upper body flexibility, which is totally fine. But if you are looking for something deeper, maybe begin to inquire what is needed for your heart right now. In what ways might you be denying your heart's longings, your heart's desires? Have you been closing your heart off to the world? Having a hard time feeling love or compassion? Or moving through grief? We're not here to judge, we're simply here to observe and listen. So go ahead and straighten your arms. And see if you can just kind of lift your head up, really pressing your chest down. And we're going to move into our Sphinx pose. So you can slide onto your belly, and bringing your knees about hip width distance apart. And I want you to really push your palms into the floor, lift your chest, roll your shoulders back. And I'm pushing into my pubic bone a little bit here, lengthening tailbone towards the heels. And finding an opening. So when you breathe, feel your rib cage expand, front to back and side Normally, I encourage you to breathe into your lower belly. But for the sake of this practice, we're going to concentrate it a little bit higher up. And you can relax your chest back down. Let's find our melting heart pose, puppy pose, Anahatasana. So keeping your hips over the top of your knees, you're going to walk your palms out in front of you and melt your chest and your forehead down towards the floor. So it's very tempting here to just let your belly completely drop down, but I want you to really imagine that it's your shoulders that are pressing down and your chest and heart space that's melting in towards the mat. And I'm keeping my arms active here. So my arms are straight and I'm pushing my palms into the floor slightly. What tension can you melt away with your breath? Take one more big breath in here. And you can relax your arms just so you can walk your hands back to help yourself come back up through to your tabletop pose. And from this tabletop pose, keep your belly nice and strong and engaged. Bring your right hand to rest at the back of your head. And we're going to inhale to lift that elbow up as high as it can go. It might not go up very high at all. And then exhale, coming back to face the floor. So very subtle little movements. Inhale, open up. And exhale, come back down. Last one. Inhale to lift. And exhale to release. Right hand down. Let's switch sides. Left hand to the back of your head. Inhale, left elbow up. Exhale, bring it back parallel. Inhale. And exhale. Last one, inhale. And release. Left hand down, walk your palms a couple inches past your shoulders so that you can tuck your toes and lift your hips up and back. Ardha Krishnasana, downward facing dog. Now really wrap through your shoulders. See if you can even bend your elbows a little bit here. So a different variation of our downward dog. You're definitely going to feel your arms and your shoulders burn a little as you do this. Feeling that heart fire. And straighten your arms. We're going to reach that right leg up towards the sky. Step your right foot through in between your palms to the top of the mat. Back foot comes down to the floor on Janiyasana, your low lunge. So arms reaching up towards the sky. Let's bend our elbows, cactus shape with your arms, and think of squeezing your shoulder blades back behind you as you peel and lift up through your chest. Go ahead and straighten your arms, reach them all the way back, and see if you can clasp your palms, squeezing your shoulder blades together. A little bit of a balancing act here. Go ahead and tuck the back toes under. Lift your back knee off the mat so you're now in a high lunge, and let's dive forward and down. So you're either going to rest your chest over your leg, or you're going to dive to the inside of that leg, reaching your knuckles up and over. Relax your neck, relax your head. One more big breath. Release your fingertips down to the mat. Step back. So left knee comes down and you're going to kick your right heel all the way up towards the sky, coming into your tiger pose. So my belly is dropping down. I'm kicking that heel up, lifting my chest up. And then my left hand is going to grab a hold of my right ankle as I squeeze and lift. And really focus on that stretch you're getting through your left shoulder. No resistance. Just let that part of your body open up. Let's release cat pose. Round and contract. And now we're going to find our puppy stretch again, but this time grab a hold of your blocks. And we're going to do a prayer puppy pose, keeping your hips over your knees. You're going to bring your elbows down, melting your heart and your forehead to the mat, bending your elbows, bringing your thumbs towards the back of your neck. Slow, steady breaths. Really getting curious about where resistance comes from for you. Let's straighten our arms. We're gonna come all the way back up. And now keep your hands on your blocks. Widen them so they're shoulder width distance apart. We're gonna do downward dog with our blocks. Lifting hips all the way up and back. So feeling that nice lift. Let's come forward into plank pose, still on your blocks. Exhale, chaturanga, upward dog. The blocks give you a lot more space here to roll the shoulders back, open through your chest. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. You can walk your feet forward to the top of the mat. We'll take ragdoll form and just move your blocks off your mat again. And you can hold on maybe to your elbows or your upper arms. You can just let them dangle if that's better. Just really decompress along your spine, getting a little bit of traction. Release your hands down, step back to downward dog without your blocks, and we'll repeat the sequence on the second side. So left leg rises, and step your left foot to the top of the mat. Anjaneyasana, coming into your low lunge. So my right knee is on the floor, I'm pushing to lift on up, and I'll find a cactus shape with my arms, adding a little heart opener here as I press and lift up through the rib cage. At the same time, I'm squeezing my shoulder blades behind me, keeping my elbows up at the same height as my shoulders. Straighten your arms, interlace the more unusual way, so your other thumb on top. Lift your knuckles off of your seat. Tuck the back toes under. Lift your right knee off the mat, and we're gonna dive forward and down. So you want to have your shoulders lifted off and away of your ears, concentrating on reaching your knuckles up even higher. One more big deep breath. And release your hands to the mat, right knee to the mat. You're gonna kick that left heel up nice and high, drop your belly, lift your gaze, finding your tiger pose. Grab a hold of the ankle as you kick and lift it up. And release, cat pose, round and contract. And let's find that puppy stretch again. If you'd like, you can take it one level higher. If you think that's too much, just keep the blocks at their lowest level. Same thing, elbows on the blocks, palms together, hips over your knees, and reach it back. So a really big shoulder opener here. Think of pulling your lower belly in slightly. Let's go ahead and straighten the arms. You can lift on up. Bring your blocks flat on their lowest level. We'll find down dog with the help of our blocks. Tucking and lifting. And find a vinyasa. Inhale through plank pose, strong through your core. Chaturanga. Open up, Adho Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog, pressing through your heels. And we'll walk our feet forward to the top of the mat again here. And you can keep your blocks pretty much where they are. Actually, let's put them on their highest level. Ragdoll for a breath or two, just letting yourself dangle and sway. Release your hands down, bend your knees. We're gonna come up to stand, push your heels into the floor for this as you lift all the way up. So we'll come into pyramid pose. You're gonna keep your right foot forward, step your left leg back with your left foot at about a 45-degree angle, and focus on keeping both hips and shoulders squared to the front of your mat. Facing forward, we'll find our archer arms. You're gonna reach right arm up, bend your right elbow so your palms, fingertips are reaching between the shoulder blades. Left hand reaches back, and if you're unable to clasp your hands here, you can just kind of hold on to your clothing. You can also instead just use your left hand to push that right elbow back. So notice how the rib cage kind of wants to flare out when we do this. Try to press it down. You'll need to engage core strength. Keep your elbow lifting and moving away from you, and then maybe initiate a fold. And I like to just kind of hold it halfway until I'm parallel to the floor. This is an intense pose. I really feel that heart fire. And carefully release your hands to the blocks. You're gonna bend into your front knee. Bring your blocks out in front of you to lift that left leg up. And now from here, we are going to transition into our half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. So I'm gonna lean on my right hand and my right leg. I'm gonna bring my left hand to my hip, and I'm gonna open up through that left hip. So trying to stack left hip over the right, left shoulder over the right. Maybe the left arm extends up to the sky. And one last variation, this is great for shoulders and upper body. Let's find sugar cane pose. So kind of like a side tiger pose, but standing. Bending into your left knee, grab a hold of your ankle, and then really push and kick that foot out to get a big shoulder stretch, little back bend. And release, fold on down, ragdoll. Let's take a breath in through the nose, big sigh out the mouth. Release your hands, bend your knees, push into your heels to come all the way up to stand. And we'll find pyramid on the second side with our archer arms. So this time, left leg is forward, step your right foot back, turn that right heel at about a 45-degree angle, and really emphasize pushing that left hip back and pressing that right hip forward, drawing the rib cage in, left arm up, bend at your left elbow, and reach back with your right hand. And you might notice that one side is harder than the other. I know for me, the left shoulder has a lot more stiffness. Press, chest down, and maybe fold. You don't need to be folding very far. Release your hands to the blocks, bend into that left knee, and we're gonna kick that right leg up, transitioning to our half moon pose. So you're rolling right hip to stack over on the left, leaning your body weight onto your left hand and left leg, right hand to your hip. Maybe right arm extends up to the sky. And you can add on with sugar cane pose, bend your right knee, grab a hold of your right foot, and start to kick the foot into your palm to really arch back and stretch open. Keep your breath steady, you got this. Fold and release, ragdoll. Big sigh, so inhale through your nose, let it out your mouth. And you can just plant your palms, step back, downward dog. We're gonna come onto our bellies, so you can just come through plank pose and lower all the way down. So we'll come into broken wing. This is a leg chest opener. You can just leave your blocks out in front of you here. We're gonna bring our right arm, bending the elbow at about a 90-degree angle. My elbow is a couple inches higher than my shoulder, and my palm is flat to the floor. From here, I'm gonna roll onto my right shoulder and my right hip, either keeping my head down on the floor. If it's too much, you can just rest your head on your block to make the pose a little bit easier and more comfortable. And I'm lightly pushing my left hand into the ground just until I feel this into my right pectorals, my right shoulder, my right biceps. And we are slowing down our practice. See if you can melt into the floor. So when we release physical tension from our bodies, it becomes a lot easier to access mental and emotional tension. Let's transition to the other side. So straighten your legs. You're going to bring your left arm out, bending that elbow at a 90-degree angle. Roll onto your left hip, left shoulder, left side of your head, maybe with or without a block. I like to bend my knees. And you're lightly pushing your right hand into the floor. Careful not to hike up your shoulders towards your ears when you do this. Keep them pressing down. Nourishing breaths. One more breath. And let's release. So you can just lift yourself up. We'll set it up into our supported fish pose. So using our blocks. I like to use them on their second level. You can do the lowest level if you prefer. First block supports the upper back in between your shoulder blades. And the second one supports the back of your head. And you might want to do a butterfly shape with your legs, or you can have them straight or knees bent, really whatever you find the best here. And if you'd like, for the first few breaths in this pose, see what it's like to have your arms reaching up overhead. And now guaranteed for some of you, this is gonna feel really uncomfortable, borderline painful, in which case, please don't do it. You can just have your arms out by your sides or open it up. So we're looking for some sensation, but definitely never pain. And we're not gonna be here too long, just 3 more breaths like this. And you can circle your arms down. And we'll take 10 more breaths in this pose. Just relaxing into it a little more. Notice what is coming up for you from this practice. How you feel physically, mentally, emotionally, without judgment, just observation. We'll bend our knees so we have our feet flat to the floor. This will help us come off of the blocks. So you can tuck your chin to your chest, move the first one out, and then just roll maybe to one side to move the other one. You won't need them anymore. And just let your knees drop side to side in this windshield wiper motion. It might feel good also to pull your knees in towards your belly. So whatever you'd like to do here before we finish with Shavasana, our final resting pose. Just a few breaths, move intuitively. Check in to see how you feel. And whenever you feel ready, you can straighten your legs. Palms facing up to the sky. Close your eyes and really let go. Maybe you can hear Cleo's purrs, I don't know. But that's nice, healing heart energy. deeper so that we're waking up, moving through your fingers and your toes, stretching your arms up overhead. Feel how much more freedom there is in the upper body. Then we can come up to take a seat. I think Cleo really liked this heart practice. And just come to take a seat, however is most comfortable to you here. Sitting up tall, closing your eyes, making one last connection to your heart space, showing yourself gratitude, compassion, love. And we can bring our palms together at the front of the heart. We'll close by chanting Om one time. Inhaling to chant, big breath in. Thank you so very much for doing this heart healing, upper body flow. Please do leave me a comment below. Let me know how this went for you. Definitely give the video a little thumbs up for Cleo and all her cuteness. I wonder if you guys were able to hear the purrs. I'm excited to.
I could hear the purrs for sure. All right, another yoga practice down. That was an interesting practice. It was definitely a lot of work on the shoulders. That broken wing pose was difficult. You know, it's interesting because sometimes I do it with my arms straight like this and sometimes like this. So straight is really easy, but holding your arm at a 90-degree angle and then moving your body over, that was a challenge. So I was glad to get to Shavasana at the end. Shavasana is always so nice at the end when you're kind of just melting into the floor and just kind of feeling the effects of your practice and kind of like letting go of whatever the challenges were that were in it. Sometimes Shavasana is my absolute favorite pose, but all in all, I just love yoga. I love what it does for my body, and I always feel a sense of accomplishment when I'm done. My body thanks me for it. So yeah. Anyway, I can hear my family rumbling around, ready to come down. So I am going to sign off, but I wish you well. Have a very wonderful, blessed day. I'll be back again tomorrow, not tomorrow, Monday. Tomorrow is Sunday, and I am observing the Sabbath, the day of rest. I hope you will as well. You guys have a fabulous weekend, and we'll see you later, okay? Bye.